Hello, this is Satori, showcasing today the premium Altmile. After scrubbing some sources for this deck, I've noticed that some decks weren't showcased in any of those deck lists, so I wanted to show off my own take on this deck. While Altmile is nowhere near close to being meta relevant, the aggro nature of this deck that lets you set up a full board on most grade 2 turns combined with aggressive guarding, it does allow it to steal games from better decks more often than you might think. We are running a very standard trigger lineup. So that is 8 crits, 4 draw sentinels, and 4 heal guardians. One might ask if crit sentinels aren't better, but usually you can produce a decent amount of raw guard value from your field, so having a PG to block very big swings is usually better. Besides, the deck naturally produces extra crits from itself. For the grade 1s, we have 4 Edit. This is the number one reason why this deck can compete at all. It searches for Altmiles and calls them out into the field, uses them as beat sticks on grade 2 turn, and lets them tuck into the soul, so Aerial Altmile would be active on first grade 3 turn. Then we have 4 Morbidus. We don't really care about any other grade 1s in this deck, so we run this as a good right target to dig deeper into the deck to find the pieces that we need. And 1 Sitzilus. This is mostly here just as a 9th grade 1 for the count. We do want to ride Aerial first in all games, so finding it for riding is good, and it is also a 13k beat stick to contribute to the rush game plan. Alternatively, this could be a unit to act as a 5th Morbidus. Ideally, I would only run 8 grade 1s in this deck, but we don't want to ride the edit, so I included an extra grade 1 to avoid it. Sadly, due to tight deck building restrictions in this deck, it's hard to fit in any extra grade 1s. For the grade 2s, we have 4 Liberat. Generates early rush, spends CB, combined with other CB spenders can extend by using Soul instead of CB, toolboxes your one-offs from the deck, and finds any other grade 2 that you need. 3 Wingston. So this is the card that I see missing in most of the list. This is extremely important because it finds Edit, which is the main win condition of this deck. Especially since there is a high chance you might need to ride one of your edits, Wingston becomes even more important to find her. Also, Wingston plus Liberat generates 2 extra bodies on turn 2, which gives you a almost full field. And the occasion that the Wingston would find you an edit, and edit finds you one of the Altmiles, that's pretty much a full field. 3 Suleiman. This card is great at ensuring that you find an Aerial to ride, but it also sets up a guaranteed edit Soul-in effect if you don't need to bounce an Altmile to your hand as a ride target. You can also bounce grade 1s back to hand to use them as shield value, since in most games you'll want to replace your wall board with grade 2s anyway. Also, if you don't manage to find anything for the edit to put into Soul, you can bounce her and try again next turn. 2 Starlight Violinist. Gives boost and intercept from back row to all grade 2s, which combined with Aerial is the reason why we want a full field of grade 2s. Due to having quite a lot of ways to search it and issues of fitting everything in, 2 is enough. And one of the cards that finds one of those violinists is Hope Song Angel. Sometimes you get rushed and have more CB open on an Aerial turn, so it's a good way to spend that CB while getting another +1 to board. If you hard draw it, you can also use this on grade 2 turn, which is pretty good. 1 Lamorak. While this card is not needed often and has limited usage cases, this is the only reliable way of flipping all of your CB down in case you get pushed too hard. 1 Degnet. Sometimes it's really awkward to keep guarding with your wall board just to eventually get damage denied when you have nothing left. This lets you play around that because you'll always have 1 CB for your next turn to call out extra stuff with Aerial Altmile. 1 Diaconnect Dragon. Between Liberat, Suleiman, Edit, and Aerial, we are quite aggressive with soul usage, so this is a convenient way to soul charge before battle phase. If you hit a trigger, this also becomes a bigger beat stick. 1 Laylee. Recycles cards back into your deck, while also building soul and being a slightly bigger beater. In case your field is full, you can also convert this into a +10k to another unit. Would love to run more, however, there is just no space for it. That's it for grade 2s. For grade 3s we have for Aerial Altmile. This is the heart and soul of the deck, providing a plus 10k to all of your grade 2s and hopefully a crit if you successfully resolved edit. This makes this deck going first very threatening, as you don't need any time to ramp up. It also provides a plus 5k shield boost to all of your grade 2s, converting them into 10k shields from both hand and field. Use your field to guard aggressively and refill it next turn for a low cost. And then we have 3 blue Sky Knight Altmiles. This is a 28k beat stick on rearguard, making this a great call of Edit and Suleiman. Though the main reason why we play this is to have more targets to hit off Edit to set up Aerial's full effect on first grade 3 ride-up turn. This isn't the worst backup ride, however, it offers a lot less on Vanguard Circle compared to Aerial. So this is my take on the deck, trying to maximize its very high power curve in the early game. Hitting like and subscribe buttons would be highly appreciated. And this has been Satori, and see you next time.